Hello and welcome to Reviews. This is not the video I intended to do this morning. Um, I was actually going to do the Wizard Beach, but I felt this was too important to ignore, and I'll come back to that in a second about why I haven't talked about this. I'm actually sitting in my office. This is not a place I normally do any filming from. And when I say home, when I say office, I mean my home office, which is just a bedroom. I've kind of converted into an office. It's mostly storage of some equipment. And I got some of my figures standing down looking at me. So, I got my Fantastic Four. But anyway, oh, I got a news alert. Ooh, no thanks. So, as you have heard, that Border Town has been canceled. DC has officially announced this yesterday because of everything going on with Eric Esquivel. Now, the funny thing about this is, coincidentally, the news broke of this the day after I did my review of the latest Border Town. And I thought about doing an update. I thought about addressing this since then. But as you know, my videos have been kind of uh, this week has been light on videos because I'm still trying to get my voice back and I don't want to push it. And I wanted to see how this would play out. So, in case I'm sure you're aware, but real quick, I'm going to pull up. This all started from a blog post here from, I really don't want to, well, I mean, she puts her name out there, Cynthia Noggle, who talks about sexual, emotional, and mental abuse that she received at the hands of X. She doesn't name him in her original blog post, and but later tweets and everything, we could figure out who it is. Um, but basically, she talks about how you know he tells people about her. We should have ended up together. She meant so much to me. It hurt me that she got away. But our story was never one about romance. Lastly, to make sure he doesn't do this to anyone else. She talks about how it started in 2012, 2013. They worked together as a comic shop. She had a manager who is apparently Eric. Acted like a friend. He was there for me for my breakup, listened. And then one day we were having a conversation about my breakup, and the topic of intimacy came up. He got closer, put his hands on my hip and lower, kissed me, invited me to his place. I said yes. Really important, she did say yes. Immediately he starts taking off my clothes. I can't stop shaking. I'm nervous. I couldn't look at him. Yeah, apparently he wasn't getting the hint. So, later that night, he brought his girlfriend to our work. They were in a polyamorous relationship, and she knew about us. Me and X worked late, and he went to the bathroom. I went to the back room. He followed me, pushed me against the wall, and started taking off my clothes. I said, "No, please, your girlfriend is right there, and I'm not comfortable with it." He said, "I had to show you to her." I said no over and over again. He grabbed both my wrists and pulled me into the other room where she was at. She saw me and said, "You're beautiful, but no." Okay, I ran out of the room, grabbed my clothes. X stayed behind to talk to his girlfriend. I was left alone crying. I never recovered from that day. For months, this kind of behavior continued, and I would tell him I didn't want to anymore. He would make comments like, "Okay, I'll just go after your friends then. How about the minions?" Minion is what we call the students we hired that were part of a high school program. He actually did go after my friends. I spoke to a couple about it recently. So I assume that her friends and the minions are two different groups, but that's still really, really creepy. He pressured me into sex with him while we were working. I'm not going to read this whole thing. Yellow Flash and the Umbrella Guy have been doing videos on this, as well as other people, all week. I've decided to kind of I don't want to say stay quiet on it. There goes Butters. I shut the door. She wants to get out. So let me just kind of lean over and let her out. All right. So anyway, I've been thinking about making a video about this, but I wanted to see how this would play out. Because right now we have a repeat of the whole Zoe Quinn situation, where Eric is in Zoe Quinn's place. Eric's former girlfriend, whatever you want to call her, is making accusations like Zoe's boyfriend did to Zoe. Now, and these are some serious, serious um, accusations. And I've said it before. I don't care whose parts you want to mush your parts against. The polyamorous relationship. I don't care. I don't care about personal. Oops, hit my keyboard. I don't care about personal lives like that. That's not my business. Um, and as more info has been coming out on this, we have um, uh, Tamara Bonvillain and Raymond Villalobos have both left the book. They're distancing themselves. I can't see some of their tweets, especially Bonvillain, because she has me blocked because I follow the wrong people on Twitter, but it's no loss. Um, but once this came out, they decide they're leaving the book. And as more information has come out, this seems to be kind of an open secret in the industry. And as you know, us, the kind of, I don't know if you want to say the Comicsgators, the and I'm not even sure if I consider myself part of that group. Maybe I kind of do. Um, but the people who just want better books, who just want some accountability, as we've been talking about this, like, hey, you guys have a mess in your house. A lot of these creators have been, basically talking about it's been an open secret, but they're how dare you shine a light on our secrets, and so yeah, I wanted to just sit back and not address this, let this play out, because as another thing I always say, I'm a fair guy. You know, she is making accusations. He has not been charged with anything. Um, I don't know these people. I don't know how true these accusations are. And it seems like other people are confirming it, that that Eric is a real piece of work. And as you see, Entertainment Tonight, Entertainment Weekly's reporting on it. This is her blog spot. Hollywood Reporter um, this is getting more mainstream, I guess you would say. Um, DC cancels hit comic. Was it really a hit comic? You know, of course the critics loved it, because that is the culture we sit in right now. Um, but this book was not good. And I'm going to catch flack for this. But I actually kind of feel bad for Eric. He seems like he's a scumbag. I mean, if all these things are to be true, are found to be true, this guy is a piece of work. And not because he's in a polyamorous relationship. And it sounds like he's pictured himself as like oh God, is it Dorian Gray? Is that the guy from the 50 Shades of Grey? Um, from what I know of that book, I kind of get the impression he's picturing himself as that. And so, yeah, this is something that happened um, 5, 6 years ago. And so maybe he's changed. I don't know. I don't know how old the guy is. And it really disturbs me. It really bothers me that I'm kind of defending him. Um, because the whole listen and believe thing. Yes, we should take her, what she says. We should take it as face value. Look into it. Find out what's going on. Um, and there. This is a very tough, touchy subject because she does drop the R word, and once you say that, I mean that is the you know that has an AOE around it. You got to be careful if you try to say, excuse me, wait a minute, is it really? No, I mean, she did say, according to her own words, she did say no. That's what, that's a he said, she said type thing. And that's why I've been not talking about this. I don't care about what goes on in their personal lives. I don't care. I do try and separate the art from the artist and judge him just on his work. And Border Town had a great premise. I've said that since the beginning. Um, I was really disappointed that this is what they thought the flagship title when Vertigo returned, what that should be. Um, but yeah, it is official. DC has canceled. Yeah, following allegations. Now, DC has not said this is the reason why. And Butters is still trying to get into the camera here. Um, they've only announced that they have canceled it. They did lose, some of the other people on the book. And, one thing I will say, and I don't know if I've mentioned it, I do like the art in this book. It has kind of a Frank Quitely look to it that I enjoy. But, yeah, I have to be honest, I kind of feel for Eric because he is denying it. I forgot to bring up his, I think this has it. I wanted to have it at the ready. Oh, Eric's statement. Oh, come on. Really, Butters? Really? I got Butters right here. Eric says, I was recently accused of misconduct by a former romantic partner. Not recent misconduct. Misconduct which happened many years ago. Out of respect for her and our prior relationship, I will not publicly name names. I've taken a few days to respond because I wanted to make sure I wasn't talking over anyone. That's a typical line there. We're in the midst of a very important cultural conversation right now, one I wholeheartedly believe in. Never in my life did I expect that I would become one of the accused. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. I will not speculate as to her motivation for making these reckless allegations, but I want to make it clear that they are false. Though our relationship was unconventional, we always treated one another with dignity and respect. I heavily encourage and will fully cooperate in any forthcoming independent investigation of these claims, which I am confident will show that I've been falsely accused. I've been notified that DC Vertigo has canceled the book I was working on. My heart breaks for the book's supporters and my creative collaborators. They don't deserve to be negatively affected by this unfortunate situation. Now this is, he said, she said, of course he's going to defend himself. And before anyone says, oh, well, that's what an abuser would say. Okay, well, come on. The guy could be falsely accused. I'm just saying, even though there seems to be a lot of other people collaborating in this story about some of the stuff he said. But does the guy deserve to lose his book? And I say this as someone who has turned Border Town as what if the Scooby Gang were a-holes? This is why I haven't touched on this. I've been watching as this has been unfolding, and once the allegations came out, I pretty much knew, yeah, this book is done. They're going to cancel this book, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if these claims are true or not, because the damage is done. And this is why I know we live in an era of listen and believe, but we also need to verify, research and verify. The guy has not been charged with anything. There's no criminal thing. He has lost his book over something someone said. And yeah, there's a little bit more weight to it because it seems like the comic industry is, working with him, and they're trying to brush it under the rug. And at first, they were lashing out at people who were like, "Excuse me, what's going on over here?" And apparently, he has a history of this behavior. So, having said all this, I'm ambivalent on how I feel about this. I don't want to see anyone lose their job, even if it's someone whose work I don't like. I don't like to do personal attacks on people themselves. I just criticize their work. And, like I said, I'm a fair guy. I try, not to be too hyperbolic. And, this is just sad for everyone involved. There's no good outcome of this. If he's innocent, then his life, he just got destroyed on this. If he's not innocent, which, to be honest, there's so many people saying that there is, then, this poor Cynthia girl went through crap, and I feel for her, and, so yeah, I have a feeling somewhere between these two edges, that's where the truth lies, and I'm not going to judge on that. I'm not involved on it. All I know is that Border Town, has been canceled, and, you would think that I'd be rejoicing. I don't want to see books get canceled. The comic industry does not need that. We need better books. We need less hate-filled books. And to be honest, the last issue of this actually the last few pages were actually pretty good. Of course, I couldn't show them, but, I tried to give a brief explanation of them. But the comic industry does not need this. We don't need more books canceled. And if a book is going to be canceled, I would rather see it canceled based on numbers, that it's not selling, so that the comic book companies can see, oh, this isn't working. This is not what people want. Let's listen to what people want. And that's why I have been kind of quiet on this. Like I said, Tug and Yellow Flash have done a lot of videos on this, and they've done fantastic work. And if you want more information, I say go to them. I don't want to get involved in the minutia of personal lives. He said, she said, that kind of drama. That's not what my focus is. That's not what I care about. Yes, I understand it is news, but I wanted to see. I didn't want to be part of this circus, and this is not what I wanted to see. I did not want to see a book get canceled based on accusations. And if they're true, then yes, pull them off the book. But we don't know that. The guy has not been charged, and I am a fair guy. So yeah, that's a few thoughts on this. I didn't really give this any thoughts. I wanted this to be completely free thought off the top of my head, and kind of a stream of consciousness as I look into this, because I don't know what to make of this. I do know I am not happy about the book being canceled, and that's because I feel I would rather see it canceled for the right reasons, based on its merits or lack thereof. And I don't ever want to see anyone lose their jobs. I just want to see an industry that's healthy, that has better books, that listens and and gives people what they want, and instead of preaching at them. And yeah, these characters, poor Quinte. We're never going to see Quinte again. The only likable character in this whole freaking book. And so yeah, summing up, really, in the end, it's no loss. Because of course, the critics love this book. I haven't looked at the sales. I should go back and find out how well this book was actually doing. But yeah, the critics love this book because it was so brave, and yeah, it was so full of hate, and it was anti-Trump, and yeah, we get it. But yeah, those are my rambling thoughts on this, and I'm going to do some more videos today. I do want to eventually get back to Wizard Beach and Empty Man and oh god, Avengers, but yeah, so this is, I didn't want to see this play out this way. This is not how we want to see what happens to the industry, because when we get accusations like this hurts everyone. And if other professionals did know that there was some truth to this, then shame on them. Come on, what's the phrase? Hang separately or hang together. And if you guys are covering up for this, for this guy, if all this is true, then shame on all you guys. You guys are the reason why that the industry is going the way it is. And I would love to have a list of the people who did support Eric but knew about all this, because I would promptly not follow any of their work. Because if this is true, this guy is scum. And I kind of had my impression of him, based on the things he'd been writing and the tone of his book. But yeah, I would love to know a list of all the people, all the professionals that knew about this, that had inklings, and did not tell anyone. And did not even raise a flag or even pull them aside like, hey, what's going on with this? This is going to get out. Someone's going to find out, is this true? Get their side of the story. But no, just kind of cover it up and swept it away. That's bull. Anyway, I'm getting myself all fired up here. But anyway, I'm going to stop here. If you stayed this long, thanks for listening to my rambling. And I do have some errands to run. I did forget to pick up a couple things this week. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.